avenging his brutally murdered wife. He injects a bioengineered formula, transforming into a monster feared by death itself. Glenn was an international arms dealer, but on his wedding day received America's deadly gift. Family and friends, dead or wounded, his beloved wife reduced to a severed arm. Overwhelmed by grief, he walked a path of no return. He first infected his survivor brother Diego and child Abel, turning them into bioweapon soldiers. Then unleashed bioweapons across America. That day, Chris rescued undercover agent Cassie in Glenn's ranks, and her child Zach. Intelligence led them to a derelict mansion, where bloodthirsty zombies attacked immediately. Target Zach was among them. Soon after, teammates got infected. The squad faced total annihilation. Only Chris escaped the sinking vessel, only to encounter Glenn observing from shadows. Glenn fought with deadly skill. Special Forces vet Chris stood no chance. Yet, Glenn withheld the killing blow, instead showcasing a new zombie virus strain. This strain identifies friend from foe. Cassie became its test subject. He released more zombies and vanished. Chris saw former teammates transformed, succumbing to despair. As death loomed near, his team rescued him by helicopter. But Cassie was beyond saving. Later, Glenn orchestrated more bioattacks. 4 months later, Professor Rebecca developed an antivirus serum successfully, but before it could be put to use, Glenn sent Abel to attack the laboratory. He released the virus gas through the ventilation system across the entire lab. Before long, all researchers were infected, including Rebecca. Gripped by her last shred of consciousness, she reached the antivirus serum storage. Before turning fully into a zombie, she injected the antibody. Not long after, as the virus attacked her body, Rebecca grabbed the antibody data. Just as she tried to leave, she encountered her zombified assistant. Using her small frame, she dodged several attacks, eventually relying on a universal fire extinguisher in the corner. Spraying it wildly, he narrowly escaped. But before she could catch her breath, 3 more zombies shambled toward her from behind. She hid under a desk inside a row of offices. Luckily, Chris arrived with his team just in time, and rescued her. Both had survived the Raccoon City bioweapon outbreak before, making them old acquaintances. After talking, it was clear Rebecca's antibody data had been leaked. Glenn feared it would disrupt his revenge plan, and sought to eliminate them all. Now that the antibody data remained intact, Glenn would not give up easily. So, Chris contacted his former teammate Leon, asking him to help protect Rebecca, and stop Glenn's scheme. But they didn't realize Glenn monitored their every move. When he saw Rebecca's appearance, Glenn changed his plans. He dispatched his top agent Abel to capture the target. Meanwhile, Diego was ordered to aim a giant Gatling gun at the tavern where Leon and Chris were. This giant's marksmanship was terrifyingly precise. Every bullet narrowly missed Leon and Chris but killed everyone else around. Let me recommend something great right now. Recently upgraded my phone. For watching movies, it's absolutely amazing. Old phones go to EcoCycle. Best trade values pro service from public company. After checking around, EcoCycle still offers the highest price. Over 2,000 stores nationwide. In major shopping malls, you can even order home pickup with instant payment from EcoCycle. In short, for device trade-ins, trust the public company EcoCycle. As Rebecca woke up, she found herself in a wedding gown. Nearby boxes kept shaking, unsure what strange things were inside. Until Glenn appeared. Then she understood. Those boxes contained friends and relatives who attended Glenn's wedding, now revived as zombies by Glenn's virus. Now Glenn forced Rebecca to continue his unfinished wedding ceremony, because Rebecca looked nothing like Glenn's deceased wife. Not even remotely similar. Later, he took his late wife's preserved arm from the fridge, trying to attach it to Rebecca. Who could accept this when Rebecca refused? She was brutally beaten. Phone call saved her. Glenn's bioweapon attack was ready for launch. Glenn had to postpone the wedding to continue preparations. Meanwhile, Leon and Chris learned Glenn's plan through intel. To stop Glenn and rescue Rebecca, they headed for New York, the target city. At this moment, Glenn sent numerous tanker trucks into the streets, loaded with viruses. Gas. Before long, the virus spread wildly. Soon after, the city would become a zombie playground. When Leon arrived, night had fallen. They decided to split up, with the female pilot destroying the virus tankers. In the process, she took out Glenn's trusted lieutenant. Leon and Chris headed by land to rescue Rebecca, but hit obstacles. 2 zombie dogs blocked their path. Leon decided to distract the dogs, letting Chris go first. Then, he boosted to 200. But the zombie dogs kept pace, forced to act. Leon engaged them directly. Precise marksmanship and skill quickly took down one. Then swift calculation eliminated the other with exact movements. Ensuring safety, he dropped a grenade as precaution, then accelerated away on his motorcycle. Meanwhile, Chris reached Glenn's base. But now, Rebecca had been injected with a slow biovirus. In 30 minutes, Shed turned fully zombified. Glenn watched for twisted amusement. To see if they could save her in time, Chris fought through zombie hordes, cutting them down. Just then Leon arrived on his bike. Then, he charged into the undead, creating paths for Chris to rescue Rebecca, seizing the chance. Chris fought to Rebecca's prison lab. Glenn had Diego waiting. After biomodification, after defecting to the enemy, ordinary humans stood no chance. Bullets felt like light scratches. Luckily Chris was no ordinary man. His plot armor shone brightly. After taking a direct hit, he used a clever trick, engulfing Diego in flames. After taking out Diego with a Molotov, Chris took Rebecca to the rooftop, awaiting teammate extraction. Unexpectedly, Glenn was already waiting. The men clashed head-on, exchanging close-range pistol shots for minutes. Yet neither landed a hit. Their agility was impressive. Truly remarkable. Chris finally ended the fight with a takedown. Expecting an edge in close combat, Glenn proved superior instead. Glenn unleashed furious assault. Victory seemed certain. Yet defeat became inevitable. Under the protagonist's plot armor, things could never be that simple. Diego survived the Molotov's flames. And this wasn't his final form. He transformed, absorbing Glenn with his last breath. Single gasp allowed body regeneration. Chris was trapped like prey. Leon drove north urgently, arriving just in time, executing a drift. He rescued Chris with equipment. Leon got grabbed before retreating, regretting ignoring his mother's advice about becoming an agent. If time could rewind, he'd choose a quiet, normal life. Agony overwhelmed him now, but words failed him. As blood surged, the monster delivered a killing blow, sending him skyward. Superman can't fly, but he can descend from the sky with such precision marksmanship. Seeing Leon still holding his ground, Chris seized the chance to find the virus antidote. Rebecca, Leon was hanging by a thread here. At the critical moment, 2 teammates arrived in a plane and fired a laser cannon, leaving a long trail that collapsed over a dozen buildings, but it just grazed the monster. Furious, Glenn leaped onto the plane and stabbed his sharp nails into the female crew member's body. However, the tough guy Liam got up again. He redlined the throttle, ramming the monster with his motorcycle against the plane, then pulled his pistol and emptied the clip. Glenn, while falling, used his nails as a pivot to hang in the air, making himself a sitting duck. Chris returned and fired a grenade, hitting him dead on. Glenn was finally dead for good this time. Though I wonder, what is this plane even made of? That motorcycle blew up but remained completely intact. Rebecca successfully inhaled the antidote. Breathing gradually returned to normal. After that, they dispersed the antidote into the air using the plane. This biohazard crisis was finally contained. But it was far from over. Because Glenn's subordinate, Abel, survived, gazing at the agonized mask left by his father Diego. New plan for vengeance began to